let's begin. But I warn you, this video is not comfortable. It's not gentle, and it's definitely not what you want to hear. But it is exactly what you need. Since you were little, you have been taught to look outward, to look for someone to blame, to put a name on your suffering. And yes, many times that name is your mother's. But here's what nobody dares to tell you. It's not your mother who still holds you back. It's what your mind did with her. Part 1. The invisible prison. The mother lives in your unconscious, long after she has left the room. You have tried to move forward. You have sought peace. But peace doesn't come when you are still trapped in a war you don't recognize. The war against an image, against a figure that is neither flesh nor bone, but shadow. An archetype that settled inside you before you could even speak. And the worst part, this shadow doesn't leave on its own. The mother complex, that's what Jung called it. It's not just another psychological label. It's an emotional prison with invisible bars. It's that voice that judges you without speaking. It's that emptiness that can't be filled with anything. It's that need for approval you've been dragging since childhood. And the cruelest part? It's not even yours. It's an inheritance, an echo, a mark on the skin of the soul. As long as you keep seeing your mother as an all-powerful figure, whether to idolize her or to blame her, you're not seeing your mother. You're seeing a myth, a projection, a distorted image shaped by years of unmet needs and unnamed wounds. That myth rules your life more than you'd like to admit. Every decision you make seeking approval, every relationship that breaks because you expect someone to save you, every time you can't set boundaries, all of that has roots in your childhood, in a gaze that was missing, in a hug that never came, in a word that was never said. Now you're an adult, but inside you're still that child who wanted mom to tell him everything was going to be okay. But here's the most brutal part. It's not going to happen anymore. Because healing isn't making her change. Healing is stopping waiting for her to do so. Part 2. The invisible loyalty. There's something darker, more hidden, the invisible loyalty. A loyalty you didn't choose, but that directs you as if you had a string tied to your soul. Your unconscious believes that if you surpass your mother, you betray her. That's how perverse the game is. You grew up learning that your identity was tied to hers, that what she lived, suffered, or believed, you also had to carry it. Without realizing it, you made a pact, a silent promise that says, I won't be better than you, Mom. I won't be freer than you. I won't fully heal if you didn't do it first. See the prison? And the most terrifying part is that prison looks like love. We're not talking about hate or anger. We're talking about an unconscious fidelity that chains you to her pain, her frustration, her limits. That's why you repeat stories you don't understand. That's why every time you're about to achieve something bigger, you sabotage yourself. Because a part of you says, if I'm happy and she wasn't, then I'm being disloyal. But here's the brutal truth. Your pain doesn't honor her. Your stagnation doesn't save her. Your unhappiness doesn't repair her. There's a scene that repeats in thousands of wounded souls. The child who doesn't allow themselves to live fully so as not to hurt the feelings of a mother who's no longer here, or who was never really there. The real betrayal isn't leaving her story behind. It's continuing to repeat it. If you really want to free yourself without dishonoring her, then understand this. Honoring the mother is surpassing her. Not as an act of ego, not as rejection, but as evolution. Part 3. The self-abandonment trap. And just when you think you've broken that loyalty, something else appears, emotional self-abandonment. What does a child do When they don't receive the emotional care they need, they adapt, they shut up. They learn to ignore themselves, to repress, to pretend it doesn't hurt. And that survival skill becomes, years later, your way of life. Have you noticed how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself inside, how you demand from yourself what you would never demand from someone you love? That's the continuation of the same pattern. Here comes the most brutal truth. No one is hurting you now. You are the one who keeps hurting yourself in the name of old programming. Every time you deny yourself rest, every time you minimize your pain, every time you betray yourself to avoid making others uncomfortable, you're repeating the same script. If I ignore myself, maybe they'll love me. You learn to survive by ceasing to exist emotionally, and that is a slow massacre, invisible, silent. You have become your own authoritarian figure, the one who doesn't let you cry, the one who demands you be strong, the one who pushes you to perform for everyone except yourself. The more you abandon yourself, the more you expect someone else to come rescue you. But that won't happen because no one can give you what you're not giving yourself. Part 4. The real revolution. So here's the real revolution. Start taking care of yourself like no one ever did. Be your internal mother. Re-educate yourself from scratch. Learn to give yourself the affection you were denied, to give yourself permission to feel without judgment, to speak to yourself tenderly when you fall, to not demand perfection when you only need comfort. At first it sounds strange because for years you've been used to the whip, to criticism, to emotional coldness. But none of that is yours. It's borrowed software, a system you inherited not because it works, but because it was all you knew. Start by asking yourself, how would I treat a child who just went through what I went through? What would I say if I saw them exhausted, worn out, on the verge of breaking? Would I push them, tell them they're weak, or would I hold them without asking anything in return? Now realize that child is you. Yes, even today, even if you're 30, 40, 50 years old, even if you've hardened, even if you seem to have it all under control, that child is still there and still waiting. But no one is coming, not how you imagine. Because it's not about finding the perfect savior. It's about becoming the figure you needed. You cannot change the past, but you can change how the past lives inside you. You don't need to break up with your mother. You need to break up with the distorted archetype you carry inside. The original wound doesn't define your destiny. What defines it is what you do with it. How much longer will you keep paying homage to a pattern that no longer serves you? How much longer will you live dragging a story that you didn't even start? The time has come to turn that inherited pain into your engine, to stop surviving and start living. But for that, you need courage. Courage to let go of loyalty, courage to rebuild yourself, courage to look in the mirror and say, now I am the one who takes care of me. And when you do, when you choose yourself, when you free yourself, then and only then will you truly honor your mother. Because the greatest tribute you can give to the one who gave you life is to live it. The most important mother isn't the one who raised you. It's the one you choose to be with yourself. And that one is yet to be born. If you're ready to break the cycle and become your own emotional parent, subscribe for more insights that reveal the hidden patterns controlling your life. Because the journey to true freedom begins when you stop waiting for someone else to save you and start saving yourself. Remember, you are not here to repeat her destiny. You are here to transform that emotional inheritance into wisdom, to make the unconscious conscious, to close a cycle so that the pattern ends with you. The question is, are you ready to give birth to the mother you always needed?